On this episode, well, thank you for joining on this episode. I hope everything is. Thank you for joining us on this episode. We want to talk about marriage. We want to talk about childhood wounds and upbringing and the effects of the impacts of childhood wounds and upbringing on an individual, on their worldview, on their attitude to life and expectations from life and expectations for marriage and relationships. We want to see how these things impact individuals. It's been said many times that children or people from divorced backgrounds have issues in relationships. But I want to say that that is really not what we should be focusing on. What we should be focusing on is every individual. Because the reason why people from divorced backgrounds are said to have issues with relationships is because those things impact these individuals and their understanding of relationships. But even people who aren't from broken homes and aren't from broken backgrounds also have a lot of things that happen to them, experiences that they carry forward in life that affect the way that they move in relationships. So we need to begin to look beyond, is this person from a home where it wasn't a broken home? Because even people from homes where they didn't have that problem can as well have even bigger issues. So everything boils down to the individual and their experiences as they were growing up. With me, I have two other guests. I'm going to bring them into the studio now. Let's have this conversation. And thank you for joining today. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sheye, for joining us today. I don't know if you heard that intro. You were in the back. Did you hear my intro?
Partially.
Partially? Okay. So,
Yeah.
Bishop, you heard everything. All right.
Yes, I
So,
did. Yes, I did.
we're going to use Tuface Idibia and Annie to start this conversation because they are celebrities, and we've recently heard that Tuface is divorcing Annie. And as we know, the background to this story is that all through the course of their relationship, Annie has been holding on tight to that relationship, holding on tight to Two-Face. And we've known Two-Face to be a philanderer, moving from one woman to another. He had 5 children before before we knew about him and Annie. And then even after they got married, he continued to go back to some of these baby mamas and even new ones. And I think he had other children after they got married. Did he? He had other children outside the marriage after they got married. Ashaya, you know that, did he?
Why are you asking me?
Because he doesn't know, because Bishop doesn't know. And I just wanted to confirm from someone else. Does he have other children from apart from the ones he had with Annie after the
Okay,
marriage?
you mean after their wedding?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So over the years, we've heard Annie crying and struggling, and I'm so sorry. You can hear. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. There's nothing I can do about it because it's coming from somewhere else. So over the years, we've heard her cry. See if I can end it. Over the years, we've heard her cry out every time that something happened and doing her best to hold on to this man. And now, eventually, after all these years, I don't know if they've been together for about 20 years or more, right? And now Two Face has decided to leave the marriage, and there's been this outcry. Why would he do that to her? A woman that loved you so much and stood by you all these years. Why would he leave her? So I say that to start with, they were never in unity, in agreement in what their expectations were for this relationship. Um, can you give us your own opinion, Bishop, what you see from the history that we've just shared?
Well, good evening, viewers and our hosts and my colleague. It's a difficult conversation for me because I'm coming from the church angle in the very first place. Two-Face is not an issue where I'm so excited discussing. He's not a standard for character in any way. He's not
Oh,
somebody.
okay,
He's
let
not
me go
somebody.
back. Let me
He's
go
not
back
somebody.
actually.
No, hold on. Hold on. He's not somebody hold up to the society and say, please take a cue from this person or his wife. But that is what is facing us, would like to discuss. So let's leave those standards and let's now have this conversation. First of all, how did they get married? What exactly is their definition of marriage? Um, the world usually talks about love, and some of us wonder whether what they call love is not lost because the factors that define love is more than 85% wanting in what the world calls love. Yeah? You cannot have five different children, or then even in the marriage, you have several other children here and there, and we are still discussing love. And the basis of marriage is love. Yeah? So, what is the lady holding on to? I hear you say that she was holding on. Holding on to what? Holding on to the marriage, or holding on to the love, or holding on to the children? I don't know what you mean by holding on. Yeah? And then Tuface that says he wants to move on. Has he ever not moved on? Was there any point in time that he wasn't moving on? So it's a wonder to me, actually. Let me stop at this point.
Okay, please go, Mr. Shea.
All right. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, the host out there. Good evening, Bishop. I must say that your intro was rather too spiritual. Let's just put it that way. You understand what I'm saying? I understand your there's a blueprint that you use to guide your actions and your followers. I understand that part. But this is it. The truth is, and that's not even the truth anyway, because the truth is, we all know that the truth is highly overrated in most cases. To any
Mm.
situation, we are only using Two Faces case as a case study so as to break into what we are facing as a society. So what I'm trying
Exactly.
to say is that we have, they say there are two sides to a coin, but I believe there are three sides. Number one, Two Face or Two Faces side, to Annie's side, and the third one, the gray area, which happens to be the truth. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So, but the media and the sentiment has always been against Two Face, yes, because it's working against the societal structure. And mind you, that societal structure is a very thin veneer that you and I know that is actually working in inclination with the society. When I mean society, I'm talking of African society. You understand? He is working the way he should. It is not that we now decide that, okay, because of what we have experienced or what people have experienced in the past, that, okay, polygamy has a lot of wahala. Kids, unhealthy rivalry, killing, murdering, and everything. They feel, okay, perhaps we should just plunge towards what the Westerners are giving us. Okay, let's try monogamy. And that's why the society now that we have is kind of, how do I say it now? It's kind of confused. Some are in for, you get what I'm saying, the polygamy, the so-called the educated, and they maybe fear, like, because some of us, the fear is that we don't have to be our enemy. Because the moment a father decides to like add another one, you are like the chances that you're going to lose your kids. When I mean lose, now you understand what I'm saying. They won't be your friends. They won't be you. In fact, you hardly find a lawyer one. But I'm not saying there are no exceptions. You know that. But I'm saying people are like, okay, I beg, if this will make me enjoy my family, have good relationship with my wife and my kids, all right, let me stay with this. You get. So what I'm trying to say is that Two-Face is bold enough to stand on what he believes in. And if he decides to move on, I still see it as being bold. And again, before I just drop my pen, and again, I can tell you that people, let's start with the feminist and the social media in-laws in court now, that they are throwing shades at Two-Face. Between you and I, if he decides like, okay, I'm ready, if you are game, send me a message or send me a DM. I
Fill the
can tell you,
application.
yes, you know the outcome of that. So you that's to show the double or the how do I say it now? This leopard nature of us as a people. You understand? But from the normal standard family settings, like what Bishop have said, is not a role model. Is nothing to write on about from that perspective. But from the larger perspective, I think you need to hear the what people are saying about both parties. That's what I'm saying. You should know that the world will always be sentimental towards women. I'm not saying what he has done is wrong. Neither am I saying it's bad. I'm not just giving us the overview of his way of life. The same thing is applicable to. I'm going to say this and then allow you, please. And the same thing is applicable to Fela and Anikulapo Kuti. Fela, as far as I'm concerned, was a prophet, a messenger. But his way of life is not, when it comes to, in quotes now, moral standard is nothing to write. So making people to miss out most of his messages. You understand? When you don't have the premise for you to build your trust, or for you to build your fact and figures, or whatever you want to present, or to you to present your argument, people will miss out that message.
Throwing the
They
baby
will
out
just
with the
concentrate.
bathwater.
What did you say?
That's throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, exactly. They'll just concentrate on the messenger. So missing the message. So I just stop for now.
Well, you've taken it to a different angle that I didn't even think about. I didn't think about polygamy at all, and him choosing that. But isn't the question then, if you really want to be a polygamist, then why do you get into a monogamous marriage? For me, I don't see a problem with somebody being polygamist. If that is what you
No,
want,
did
just
you say
because
he went into did you say he went into monogamous whatever?
marriage, yes.
Did you say that?
Formally, huh?
No,
Can
Because
I
no.
did he not
can,
marry Annie as his one wife? And then all
can
the
I
other ones are people that,
can I can I step
Okay,
in?
okay. And the bishop, it's as if today is the very first time I'll be seeing your face. Except the fact that where you are, you guys are battling
yes.
with
Yeah, we talked about
PAC
that
on
before
there
we started.
because it's
Yeah,
dark.
We
You
talked
can't see
about
your
that
face
before we
on your
started.
light.
maybe I should go and put the generator on, or what do I do?
If
I
it's going
can
to
call
remain
somebody.
like this, we can still do it like this.
Okay,
Or
let's just continue.
which one is
I
more
just feel like
convenient? Which one is more convenient?
no,
For me,
to go on there won't be convenient. Let's just continue.
yeah.
I just want to
Well,
see your face, sir.
don't worry, God will make it possible another time.
Okay,
Um, you see, I was hanging a whole lot of what I wanted to say in what looks like parables, yeah? Because I was saying that in the very first place, the subject of our conversation,
okay,
nobody can litigate on our conversations because these are public figures, and their lives
okay.
define societal values. So you cannot go and wear corn in your waist, and the chicken is chasing you, and you start getting angry. You're a public figure, therefore your life is a public topic of conversation. Now, what I'm
Yeah,
saying is, it is clear to us that the fundamentals of marriage are not known by these gentlemen and ladies.
okay.
In the very first place, I do not think that Two-Face went out of his way to have a monogamous marriage. He may not even know the meaning of monogamous marriage.
That's true.
From
Absolutely.
how he has lived, you can see that monogamy was not in his thought pattern. And then two, You cannot even say that polygamy is also in his thought pattern, because what he's also manifesting is serial polygamy.
That's beautiful. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So the point I'm trying to bring to the front burner is that these are, you see, one of the challenges we have in our setting in Nigeria is that media propels to a place of reckoning people that have no values, people who should. Scripture says that one of the things that confuses God, God Himself is confused, is when He sees princes walking barefooted and He sees loafers riding on horsebacks.
Power has changed
So,
hands.
well, that's
yes,
what I say. The power is
that's
changing hands.
yeah,
So, I mean, there's no definition, there's no direction, there's no pattern.
yes. So that's really that's beautiful, because what we see here is, I think Bishop actually captured it when he said that it's people who have no, did he say no standing or something like that? Because what we see here actually is
Values,
what I like
values.
to always talk about. These are two people who want different things, getting into something where you're supposed to have an agreement.
No, sorry. Did you say they want two different things?
They don't
Yes.
even want anything. There's
They want,
nothing defining them.
okay. They want,
No
because
values.
So,
one of them wants a relationship where we are together, just both of us. The other one, that's
oh,
not what they want. That's not what the other one wants. So how do you then get into a relationship like marriage when
should,
you want
should,
two opposing things?
should I? Should, you see, I think the problem of this present society is that we only find solution to any menace or any problem without looking at the root cause.
Mhm.
Should we trace it back to the root cause and
Good.
see the
That's the whole.
significant role that those underlying factors play in our lives?
Yes.
How do
Do
I
that.
mean?
Yes.
Two-Face, do you know where he's from?
He's
I'm asking
Idoma.
you a question now.
Yes.
Idoma,
I
where?
don't. I
Where?
don't. I don't know. Benue State.
Otupo? Otupo.
Okay. Okay.
And then, have you any idea about their way of life?
No.
No. All right, good. You understand? Because when you want to condemn or judge people, it's just
Mhm.
like, let me explain to you now. Let's not, so that it shouldn't feel like or sound like profiling. Let me use me and my own whatever, my clan and my ethnic group as an example. I am an Ijebu man. To an average Ijebu person, Faji, and I mean Faji, I mean partying, not ordinary partying. They love burial parties.
Serious.
They
Okay.
spend money. You
Okay.
understand? They prefer to like, okay, money that they will use to build a mansion, they can buy one big gold showing that you put it, that by the time they put it like this, the whatever will touch the ground. You understand what I'm saying? You need to be at Ojujoba, that is Jebu festival that they do in you understand what I'm saying? Anyway, that is their lifestyle. So if you are lucky to now marry in such a family, you now try to tell your mother-in-law, your father-in-law that you want to do something small, they will look at you as saying, are you out of your senses? What do you mean by something small? I've been doing this with my friends, with my friends that are woo woo. You understand what I'm saying? They want to spend, they want to show themselves, they want
I'm
to
going to
parade themselves
change
that
this thing.
go
I'm
and
going
go.
to change it. I'm going to change it and make this
What?
conversation public. I'm going to make this conversation public.
What?
I am going to change this and make the conversation public, right? Because right
Oh,
now,
are we not in public?
no. We discussed that before you came, so you don't know. You didn't know. I want to just make it public
Okay,
now. That's
okay.
if it's possible. If it's going to allow me, is it going to allow me? It may not allow me. Yeah. Okay. It's allowing me. No, it's not allowing me. Okay.
Okay.
We can
Okay.
continue. Maybe I
All
can
right.
do it
So,
from
what I'm trying to say
from
is that, so if you are married to such family and they know that they are socialites, don't come to the media and start shouting that these people they too like family. That is who they are. Is it that you if you can't face the heat, you leave the kitchen. Is it that you don't want to relate with such a person or with such family, then you don't go there, or you want to go there and carry the baggages.
You've
That's
captured
number
it.
one.
You've captured it beautifully. You've
Okay,
captured it
good. Then let's
beautifully.
talk about
Thank
the same Annie that we are talking about. Annie was groomed by her mother alone. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Single-handedly, the poor woman tried for, I think, family of five. She raised all of them. I don't know what happened to the mother. I mean, to the father.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even bother to check. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm.
that's, you see, when you lack father figure, it's going to reflect in your wedding and your marriage, no matter how you try it.
No, no,
Because
hold
there's
on.
this,
Okay.
okay,
No, sorry. Go on, please.
okay. So
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. The history matters. That's
Yes.
just it. Let's just put it in
Yes.
perspective. It matters a lot. And your past experience, if not properly dealt with, we talked about it the other time. That's what they call psychological scars. You take it along, it works with you, and you are not conscious of it. You see, when you are conscious of it,
Beautiful.
it shows that you are likely to have help. That is, you are conscious of it. Most of it we are not conscious. It's like a subliminal, or what do we call this? What do you call it now? I've forgotten that word now. So anyway, it has this effect on you that subconsciously controls your action. That you don't know why you act the way you act. All right.
Perfect. All right. I love that. I love what you said. So to start with, where I will take us back to is that when we're seeing things and we're having expectations, you only have expectations based on your own understanding of life and the way that you see life. So I
Absolutely.
love the fact that you brought up those two things. So where a person may look like they're doing something wrong, everybody may be saying, those of us who believe in monogamy and believe that Nigeria is a monogamous society where we have monogamous marriages. When we're looking at Two-Face, we will say that this is a bad guy. This guy is doing something wrong. But what you've just said now is the fact that we need to look at the individuals. Look at the individual who is doing this thing. The person does not have the same values as you on this side. So
Okay.
where you are seeing that you're saying that the person is doing something wrong, the person in his mind is thinking, what is wrong with these people? Because he
Okay.
is so certain that what he's doing is normal. Is normal. So that's the fact of what has happened here, and people are castigating him. And that is also what happens when we get into a relationship. That's why I want to talk about expectations. And we get into a relationship, you have an expectation that this is the way that it's going to play out without taking into cognizance that you're dealing with another human being who is coming with their own values and their own understanding of life. And this is not what they believe in. So no matter what you do, in fact, you are the one who is now a nuisance to that person. You think the person is a nuisance, but the person is sure that you are a nuisance, right? So how I even learned this thing is that I was talking with a friend whose husband was maltreating and subduing in every way. And she said he wasn't letting her work. He wouldn't let her go to work. This is a medical doctor. For 8 years, he actually lied to her that she would work. And then when they got married, he wouldn't let her go to work. And first year, second year, third year, until 8 years. So even to get toiletries, she would have to ask him. And then he would have to calculate how much these things are going to cost and give her. And she said, I mean, medical doctor, for goodness sake, living in the United States. After I've gone to school, she'd already done her house job and had already started earning money in Nigeria before moving to the United States, where this man told her that she was going to work, only to get there and he wouldn't let her go to work. And she said, Uzo, even if he was carrying women up and down, because they were talking about cheating men, cheating husbands. And she said, even if that was what he was doing, that is nothing. Because I said, how? You want to join those people that pretend that they don't mind. No, no, no. She said, mm-mm. Where I come from, all my aunties, even their husbands' girlfriends, they know their names. They laugh about them.
Okay.
They will even be advising them. So they don't see it as anything.
Okay.
So where she comes from, it's nothing. But for me, it's like, That is you. It cannot happen. That is
You are getting my
taboo.
drift.
And
Yeah,
that was my first time.
yeah.
That was my first time of ever coming across a woman who, because people say it, people actually say it, and in my mind, I've always been so sure that they're just, it's paining them, but they're just talking, right? But now she told me directly, no, Uzo, where my family, that is nothing. The man has done nothing wrong when he's doing that, and they've come to accept it. So it is your expectations that you need to mind when you're doing something with someone, because what you think is normal, like the two of you now, if I'm doing something with you, I may be thinking that this is the way this person should do things, this is the way this person should do things. But if I don't communicate it, I don't give you the opportunity to say to me, no, that's not how it works, or no, I can't do that, right? And then I'll start feeling that you've done me wrong when you do things differently. And that is where this conversation is going. So in marriage, you are going to do something with someone else. It's a very tight relationship. We need to manage our expectations. Till tomorrow, I cannot say that Two-Face has done anything wrong to this woman. He hasn't done. In fact, right now, as he's divorcing her, I am happy. You know why I'm happy? Because he could have done this all this time, all these years. This is what he should have done. He should have allowed her to go, knowing that he couldn't live that life that she wanted. And she was not able to remove herself from that situation. So if he had done this all along, he would have given her the freedom by force to go and live the life that she's supposed to live. Because all these years now, the only thing is that, okay, they've created their family, they've created children, and they can have the joy of that.
Shall I
But that's as far as
shall I shock you? I'm not
shock me.
I'm not saying anything happening between them. I'm not saying them breaking apart.
You're not seeing them breaking up. Hey, that's possible.
Yeah.
That's possible.
I think they'll find
Yeah, they've lived it all these years.
they'll find a way
Okay.
around it.
They've lived it all these
Yeah.
years. And I really hope that whatever they do, they just need to have their happiness. They need to not be succumbing to what they cannot uphold. You cannot be pretending that you are going to do a monogamous marriage and then be putting someone else through trauma. But if the person is accepting it, then they've accepted it. So whatever they do. And then you talked about being brought up without a father, that it will always affect you no matter what. Please, let's put a caveat there. Let's put a caveat there. Normally, a girl that grows up without a father's attention and love would experience issues unless there is an intervention, unless something happens to help her to not see life in that
And that's
way.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Otherwise,
saying.
yes. I like us to always put the unless, because if you don't put the unless, a man will meet a girl tomorrow who is mentally balanced. But when he hears that she didn't have her father growing up, he will automatically, and his family will say, no, we are going to have
And people
problems.
do that these days.
But you need to
They
examine,
do that these days.
yeah, but you need to examine the individual. Like in the beginning, you weren't here. I was saying that people from divorced homes, people are always saying they have issues with relationships. And I say, but there are people whose homes are intact, but those people, because of the things that they saw growing up, the experiences that they had, even the relationship between their parents was such that it gave them the wrong foundation. So we need to always go and look at the individuals involved, right? And that's how we're going to know, um, is this going to make sense or not? What are our expectations? Is this person able to carry the expectations? It's a pity that Bishop is completely in the
No,
dark,
but
What?
don't
right?
worry. Somebody's putting on that. Okay.
Okay, awesome. So I sent you this thing. I want us to talk about expectations of a person with, because thank you, Sherry, for bringing up the issue about Annie having been brought up without her, with just her
Okay.
mom and without
All
her
right. I
dad,
can.
right?
I
Bishop.
before
Bishop.
yes, sir.
When am I coming to come and to come and borrow some books?
well, this is just a few books that are my library here. But there are books everywhere. If the Bible says that if you must be a priest, you must have knowledge.
That's true.
I was listening to you people and shaking my head. You know why I
Yes.
was shaking my
Okay.
head?
Okay.
If you grew up in England, I'm using England, or even India, there is a class structure, yeah, that makes you know where you belong. And if you want to cross this class ladder, you know what to expect where you're going. And the person that is coming down knows what to expect. Now, the church in Nigeria is to a large extent failing. Virtually every person I talk to is a Christian one way or the other. I mean, we can make such a categorical statement. Why? Because statistics, data confirms it. But the problem is that we come into this church and the people who belong to the church in manifestation of behavior, you don't see the culture of church manifesting in their lives. Yeah?
I love that.
Now, when a man is a Christian, the biblical standard of Christianity is one man, one wife.
Okay.
Now, if you're not a Christian, no problem. You can do whatever you want. Yeah? And even if you're a Christian and you choose, I have dealt with a particular case. I was involved in the counseling. An elder in the Anglican Communion decided to go and marry his second wife.
Oh,
His, his
okay.
daughter, his daughter walked him out from her house. They are Ijebu people. Walked him out from her house in England, and
So
he came back to
why are you
tell,
pointing that out?
because you're from there. He said, not any other reason. Yeah. Now, and the man was moaning and groaning, just like you said, that the one of the problems in polygamy is that you lose the affection of your children. He lost it completely.
Yes.
And he said to me, Bishop, I have made up my mind to do this. All that can happen is I will be blamed for failing in the standard of the church. I accept that I have failed in the standard of the church, for which I cannot hold any official position in any church, in any proper church. Yeah? Now, what we see in Nigeria most often is that people say they are Christians. I don't think that Tuface will tell me that he's a native doctor. I mean, he's a native doctor. Juma.
Native doctor.
I don't think he will say so.
That is a native. That is a traditional religion practitioner,
Exactly. I
right,
don't
or
think he will
something
say
like that.
so.
Yes.
Neither will the girl say
Yes.
so as well. Because where the girl comes in is this: when you were deciding to get married to somebody, what was the basis of your choice of this person as a husband?
Yes.
A senator called me once and said to me, Bishop, I need a proper girl to marry. I know that you people have very decent girls, very well behaved girls in the churches. Please help me to identify such a character. And I told him, distinguished senator, I'm sorry that there is no proper Christian girl who will agree to marry you. I'm watching my terms carefully. So many Christian girls will marry him, but they are not proper Christians.
Yes.
And he got angry, said, am I the worst man in the earth? Am I so ugly, or is it the money I don't have? I say it's not about those things. That a proper Christian girl has certain standards by which she wants to run her
Standard.
home, none of which you have.
Hello. You guys are frozen. Hello. You are frozen. You are frozen. You are frozen. Oh my gosh.
Even as he's married to you, he has children outside the marriage. So what are we talking about? Why did the lady choose him to for that? So it's not just about Two-Face. And like
Oh my gosh.
that the womb, that character is defined by nature and by nurture. Nature are the things you come with. Nurture are the circumstances and situations under which you grew up, right? So the point I'm therefore making is the aspect of nature ought to have been dealt with by your knowledge of God, in the sense that scripture says we should not be conformed to the world, but we must be transformed by the renewing of our minds. So where is Christianity in this person who tells me that he was is born from a Doma land and therefore he must have several wives, or TV land, or the Ijebu man who must have a long dangling necklace because he's Ijebu? If he is a Christian, where is Christianity in that? Oh, one day something happened in my
Okay.
church. A certain lady was so angry. She was livid with anger and she was shaking. So when I came out and I saw her that angry, I said, what happened? I think her name was Sharon. I said, what happened? Why are you so angry? He said, did you see what did it? I said, no, I didn't see anything. So, okay, but what exactly did anybody do that could get you so angry and so mad? Shebi, I hear you have repented. She said, yes. He said, what did you repent from? If you are this angry in Christ, where are you coming from? What did you have you repented at all? Yes. What did you repent from? So I am saying that these are fundamental issues that we need to look into in the way we run society. Because we can't have a society that is modeled up. There are no standards, there are no values.
Modeled up.
Everybody,
Modeled up is the bottom
everybody is
line.
everywhere and is everything. It's not proper. If you
Yes.
watch my intro, I don't have any regard for these socialites. I don't know them. I do not meet them anywhere. I cannot use them to make a statement because I don't see values
Are you
anywhere.
in? Oh, you are here. Okay, let me add you. Sorry.
I
Okay.
hope it's,
All
I
right.
hope I didn't lose you, Shaya.
No, he got out of the he got bounced out of the studio.
Oh my.
Where are you? Okay. Come in. Your video, your camera. Okay. So that's fine. I lost both of you for a bit. But you know what? I love the opinions that you've both given. And I'm so impressed. Very intelligent and candid opinions. What I love about what you're saying, Bishop, is that this is what I've been thinking, I've been saying since that, see, we need to define who a person is.
Yes.
Everybody needs to, we are making assumptions. We have a society that is not sure who is who. We have things that are in place as the norm for everybody. Then we have ourselves pretending that we are following the norms, but doing something else. So that
Exactly.
when I meet you, I have the expectations that you're going to follow the norms. But we need to now tell ourselves the facts that everybody that I meet, I need to look beyond what I'm thinking to actually figure out who this person is. Because what we have in our society is that a lot of us don't even know ourselves to start with. We never even realize
Oh
that we
my.
didn't take a stance on anything. Are you frozen? I think you're frozen. I think you're frozen. Hello? I think you're frozen. Oh dear. Okay, I'll just wait a bit. I'll just wait a bit until you're back. You are frozen, bounced out. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody is saying in the comments that some people go to church every day and they have bad character. So the thing is, this takes us back to again talking about church. You know what I've been thinking and what I've started to say now? It's almost as if the church is even teaching people to live a devilish life, right? And when I say devilish, what I mean is because what do we say about the devil? It comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And the reason is because there are many churches where the truth will not be spoken, the truth will not be stood for, because if the truth is spoken too loudly, the people will not be happy and they will leave, they will not want to be there. However, the truth will set us free at every point. If we're not able to speak the truth, then we'll be floundering, and that's what we have here. So if for me, what I even say now is that actually a lot of the people that I see going to church do not even believe in God, because when you look at what is happening, what is proceeding out of these people, you cannot see, it's like having a form of godliness without godliness in it,
You see, can I
right?
can I can I step in a little bit more? Um, if we were discussing law now, and there's a lawyer here, we'll give him the privilege of talking law, isn't it? Because we're not learned like they are. If we are discussing medical practice, yeah, and there is a doctor here who will say, well, I am
Yes,
not competent in this field. Let's listen to the doctor. How come that when it
yes.
comes to church, everybody has an opinion and is driving his view without recourse to people who are practitioners and who have spent
In that
time
field.
in that field? Why,
I can
why is it
answer.
so? Yes.
I can
Okay.
answer. It is because we have all sorts of leaders in church today. We have the ones who are proper leaders, and we have the ones who are charlatans. And it was not safeguarded enough for the charlatans to not have the free hand to operate. So we now know that if we're not careful, we are going to be dealing with a charlatan who is occupying the position of leader.
Okay. Now, now,
Yes.
now, let me interrogate that answer a little bit more. There's a legal maxim that talks about let the buyer beware, caveat emptor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes or no?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
You can't outsource the responsibility of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day,
Yes.
you brought me to this platform because you believe you know what I can say, isn't it?
Yes.
You're not
Yes.
looking for somebody who is pushing people down and collecting money. Why?
No,
Because you
I am
have
not looking for, I didn't go and bring a
made a
charlatan.
choice. Now, why is it that when it comes to other areas where we should demonstrate the same principle, we leave it to the birds and turn around to blame church? I don't know if I'm
You mean
I don't know if
why
I'm asking.
you mean why we say that?
So,
You mean why we are not allowing people to be responsible for themselves and people are blaming church, right?
in fact,
No,
let me
no,
give.
that's not what he's saying. He's trying to say that as a citizen, where you are supposed to fight for your right. Take for instance,
Yes,
what's government is supposed to do for you, the
yes,
right of the government and the duty of the government. Instead of you to focus on it and then blame the government, rather blame the church than the
exactly,
government.
exactly. That,
I'm not sure why people will do
hold on.
that.
Let me define it a bit
Yeah.
more. That is an aspect of it, but it trickles down to even individuals, trickles down to family, trickles down to society, trickles down to governance. Yeah,
Okay.
because
May I?
because
Yeah.
I expect you to bring up your children in the fear and in the admonition of the Lord. that when they are making marriage choices, your input in their lives will be clear. Yeah. When they are also growing up, you're taking them through patterns that will form a normative pattern in their lives. Typical example, I grew up a Catholic. Between the ages of 5 and 7, as a Catholic, you go through catechism. Between the ages of 8 and maybe 10 or 11, you do confirmation. Now, it is those catechisms you keep reciting, rote learning. You know, you're singing this in like a song. When you now mature, the meanings begin to come back to you. And it begins to form a basis for your actions and inactions. I don't know if I'm making sense. The challenge we have in the church is that the membership of the church who ought to bring these principles to bear on their decision makings, the processes of life, fail because they are not thorough members. There are so many people in the church who are still continuing their traditions. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm pointing at you particularly. You chose a very good example. You say you're an Ijebu man, and an Ijebu man wants to thrive. An Ijebu man wants to be celebrated and to celebrate. And he's willing to take the money he should buy a house with to do a party. And he can go and buy a very long chain, like the one that Subomi Balogun was wearing the last time I saw him. I saw it clearly before he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just talking about
Yeah.
what we saw, right? Now, but
Yeah.
I am saying, where then does that Christianity that that man from Ijebu professes, manifest in his life? Bible says in Romans chapter 12, be not conformed to this world, to the patterns of this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, so you can prove what is that perfect and acceptable will of God in your life. So our challenge in our society is that people who confess Christ do not profess Christ. And
Right.
that is what is
You know,
manifesting in the failing of failed marriages. And instead of us accepting that these are choices that people are making, we are throwing the blame back to the church.
did you notice? Did you notice the way I was looking at Bishop when he was talking? Did you notice the tenderness in my face, Shaya? Did you notice that?
I saw that.
You saw it
Yeah.
because I'm feeling his will I say pain, right? And it's almost like a lone voice in the wilderness,
You
almost
think
like,
so?
because
You
hmm?
think so?
what I no what I observe, what I notice is this. For instance, I am one of those people who throws blame on church.
Why would
I am
you
one
why
of
would
those
you want
people,
to
and
do
the
that?
reason I do that is because we have pillars of society that people look up to and take advice from. Now, when we talk about marriage breakdown and people talk about church, one of the things is, for me now, when I go to church and they announce a marriage and people are laughing and, hey, I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore because I feel that the people that were rejoicing that they're going to get married, did anybody take the time to see the roots and foundation of the plan that this couple is making to go and get married? What is the essence of rejoicing that they're going to get married when everything was built on a foundation that is very shaky, and tomorrow they will end up breaking up and leaving these children, if they haven't had a good way of relating, even if they don't break up, they create an atmosphere that is bad for these children
Toxic.
that are going to
The
bring
word
into
is
that
toxic.
family. Yes. So I think that as a pillar of the society, Like now, as an adult, when I have young people around me, and that's actually why we have Diaspora Lounge, we need to now take a place of responsibility. When we notice that something is faulty, let's go and dig into the reason why this thing is a problem. So for me, marriages breaking up is not even the problem. The problem is why are the marriages breaking up?
No,
In the foundation.
anyway, I want to take you up on where Bishop said some of the things that we do, we put the blame on the church. You understand? And then I believe it's true, and I know the reason why. You get. Don't forget that at the beginning of this conversation,
Oh, he's frozen. Why is this
I can
happening?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, so it's from my
something.
end.
Let me
You can
repeat
hear
that.
him.
Bishop said
Okay,
something.
he's back.
Bishop said something. He said we are discussing superstars. That those people are stars, and that's why people will discuss them at length. The media will discuss them. Everybody will discuss them, which is normal. You understand? Like you have really pontificated that the church is one of the pillars.
Hmm.
Go on, we're listening.
I think he's frozen from his end.
Okay. You know, we're just discussing marriage or relationships. This affects
Yes.
government. This affects even the food we eat. Now,
What affects
somebody
government?
is okay, somebody is an operator in the telecommunications industry, isn't it? The
Yes.
platforms, MTN, Airtel, and whatever their names are used as operators. Now, there is a regulatory framework that should design the functional terms or patterns. Now, some human being is sitting over this regulatory responsibility. Why don't we have the services we paid for? Why is there not somebody who can ask questions? Why is there some Christians are managing these things? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Are you still with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm just writing some things in this video.
Okay. So the point I'm therefore making is that our society is broken down completely. Whether you're looking
Yes.
at marriages, or you're looking at work culture, or you're looking at even relationships amongst friends or business relationships,
Yes.
Nigeria needs a complete overhaul.
Overhaul. Yes.
And we need leaders who can come into the system and arrest this system, capture this system, and go down to the foundations, rebuild it.
Because everything is breaking up. But you know one of the reasons why? Where is the sound coming from now? Is it
I
coming from
don't
your
know.
phone, Shaya?
No,
Okay.
Definitely not from here.
continue. There's no sound there.
I'm having an echo. Let me be. I don't know where it's coming from. Okay. What I will say is, so you can't hear it.
No.
Oh my gosh. I
I
don't know where it's
continue.
coming from.
Since it's not disturbing us, I don't think we have issue with that.
All right. So what I will say is this. In my language, it's called agu. Agu. They say agu nakbamadu. I don't know how you said in Yoruba. And Bishop seems frozen. Is it frozen to you,
Yeah, it
Shaya?
is. It is. It's frozen.
I would really like him to hear this because I would really like him to hear this.
Um,
He's frozen.
is Bishop in Nigeria?
Yes.
Okay.
Everywhere, is it just mine?
Okay,
Okay,
it's back.
good. All right. So I was saying that, one day, not too long ago, last year, I had an epiphany about why not only Nigeria, why Africa is the way it is. It is because our foundation is shaky. Our foundation is shaky. That's why everything is upside down. And your foundation is going to be shaky if your roots are not. I think Sharia is frozen. No, he's not. He says, okay. So if your roots are not healthy, then the tree that grows out can be moved by any wind. So I say that I had an epiphany that the reason why Nigeria and the whole of Africa is this way is because things were messed up with our roots, our identity. The same thing with a child who is growing up. And Shaya, can you hear me, please?
Perfectly.
Can you just
Perfectly.
the same thing with a child who is growing up and the roots are the foundation is shaky. So there's too much confusion. And as you said, Shaya said some people will, I think you both said it, some people will adopt traditional religion or traditional ways of life and culture in the way that they do things. And at the same time, they will still adopt Christianity. So how can you, because you haven't chosen a place, I think it's actually better that you choose one. Even if you're going to choose traditional, you know that that's what you've chosen. And anybody who is dealing with you
No,
knows that
no,
this is
that
what,
is
you know.
contrary to human nature. That is contrary to human
So,
settings. You understand?
is it human settings?
Yes,
Okay, explain how.
yes, it's
But let me just finish.
okay.
Let me just
Okay.
finish and then yes. So Bishop, I said in my language, we say something like "agunakpa madu." When you say "agunakpa," it's like I think the best way I can explain it is that this person is not settled. Uh, Spirit is pulling one spirit is pulling the person from this angle. Another one is it's almost like someone that has a multiple
Yes,
personality
yes.
kind of thing. So you look at the person and you say this person is not stable. Agunakpa, this guy is not stable. You must have that thing in your language to like share, right?
I don't know.
So you can see that something is not stable with this person. And I think that the reason, in fact, I'm almost certain that the reason is because we don't have an identity that we're sure of. Now, um, I think that our understanding of Christianity is a big problem. Our understanding and application of Christianity is a big problem. And that confusion is what has placed us here because people will not open their mouths to say what they really think about something and then get the explanation of clarification because they don't want to be judged, right? And I will leave it at that and allow Shay, do you want to take that up? And then we can actually now, after you've spoken, we can go back to some of the points that we had for the conversation.
No, no. The only thing is, I don't think I want to say anything as regard to that. But just
Not
that
today.
before I
Okay.
got frozen, I was trying to tell Bishop that the pillars of any society, religion is one of the
Mhm.
pillars. Family is another
It's
one.
one of the biggest pillars.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And I'm saying that, take for instance now, if the president of this country should address us like, okay, Nigerians, don't do this on Monday, I can tell you that about 45 to 50% would listen to Mr. President that he has spoken. Okay, don't no movement. You know, I'm saying giving an instruction without enforcing it. Do you get what I'm saying? President of this country is addressing us that, please, Nigerians, I do not want you to go out on Monday. I want you guys to relax. And then people will rebel. Except if there's an enforcement. If there's enforcement, Nigerians will adhere to it. Now, the same thing, the same instruction being given by so-called like Bishop Oyedepo, um,
I can't hear him. I actually can't hear him, but I think he's speaking. Is everyone else frozen?
I'm hearing it.
He's
I can
frozen.
listen. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
Can you see?
Okay. I think every time it's going to affect someone, I get it first, and then because he's bounced out, right? He's not there,
I
right?
can't see him. Yes.
Yes, he's not there. So that's the as he was saying, pillars of society are church, family, and need I even say government? Needless to say, right? Needless. So those are the reasons. As he was just saying that if someone like Bishop Oyedepo would come out and make a statement, you know the effects that is going to have on the society. That's why we say those types of things. At least that's why someone like me says that, you see, church can actually influence even the government of the country. One day I was saying this thing, and my own brother said, why are you people should stop blaming church. Stop blaming church. And I said, are you for real? Because why can't you see that church controls a lot of mindsets and a lot of influence? So if the person who is, and you can actually see Bishop Oyedepo rubbing shoulders with government people, you can see him doing that. The other time when he had his birthday party, you saw all those people. So it's a simple thing of he has access to those people and he has access to the church people. Just one moment. And then in the church, the pastor will say, like the other day, Pastor Adeboye said that we're having fasting for the whole country. But you see, if you say, kneel down and pray for God to come and save you, it's a very different thing from people who own the country. One man, Hitler, or any one person can, we've even deviated from our conversation now. One person will come and hold a whole ransom of population of how many people to ransom and do whatever he wants with them. He's calling me on the phone, but he's not there. So that's the extent to which, is he back? Oh, he's back. Okay. So that's the extent to which church influences. Because if the bishop, instead of saying, or if instead of Pastor Deboy to come and say, let us pray, right? It's good to say, let us pray and fast. But if he said to the people, before you came back, I was saying, Shaya, that one man, for instance, Hitler or anybody, say the African countries that are being controlled by the president who is there for years and years and years, taking it as a monarchy, one person is controlling everybody. It doesn't make any sense because he's taking his guard from the population. His people who are guarding him are part of the population. Yet you are being oppressed. So everything is a matter of mindsets. So now I say that a country like Nigeria has already been blessed with natural resources, everything. But you don't recognize that you have that strength because you have the mindset that is told to you every day that instead of you to hold your government accountable, you should be doing prayer and fasting. Prayer and fasting is good. But at the same time, if that person who is influential can say to the people,
You
we
see,
are, including
you see,
himself.
our moderator.
Yeah. We've deviated from our conversation now.
I don't know if you're moderating or actually leading the conversation.
She's setting an agenda. She's an agenda setter.
Who?
You,
What do you mean?
that's what Bishop had just asked you. I'm supporting Bishop with whatever I just
That's
observed.
what.
I'm saying you're setting
What
an
did
agenda.
he say? What did he? It sounds like an accusation. Is that an accusation? You are now both frozen.
You're trying to chart a direction for the conversation. Don't use the word agenda setting is heavy. Eh?
Okay, well, but I wasn't the one who went there. It was both
No,
of you and the
no,
conversations
just
that you
hold on.
brought up. So we can leave it for
No,
another
just
day.
hold on.
We can leave it for another day so we can get back to
Just hold on. It's good. All we're trying to know is to know how to key in and follow you. You understand? We're not saying it's right or wrong. We're just saying let us know how to follow.
No, it's
Uh-uh.
okay. I'm just saying that the reason I went in that direction was because in the conversations, you brought up something about why do we talk about church? And then we started to explain why we are talking about church.
Yes.
But it's good because
Anyway,
we can
I
go
was
back
trying
there.
to. I don't know why my network is freezing today. I don't know. Hello? Oh God.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. You are here. We can hear you.
Don't be
Okay,
frustrated.
okay,
You see, it is the same
okay.
thing we are saying. Just like you are discussing relationships. When you were out, I was saying somebody is an operator, either Globalcom or MTN or Airtel. Another person is a regulator that should make sure that the operator conforms to the standards, isn't it? Now, the people who manage these things we are discussing, are they Christians? If they are Christians, doesn't the value, the Christian value system, affect the way they think? Is it church's fault that we're experiencing what we're experiencing? The point I'm trying to communicate
Okay.
in effect is that it is spiraling into every sector of our national life. The failure of standardization, the failure of
Mm-hmm.
regulatory mandate. Now, I went to America to bring in some products. It was cartons I needed. So I went to U-Haul. I said I needed, so they call it boxes. You know what they told me? Any box that must be flown out of America is in three categories. One category, category. Anything you want to put into a carton or a box to bring to Nigeria must be conforming to one of those three categories. So
Okay.
there is standardization. You may be looking at an American and you're saying that he's not a good Christian because he doesn't go to church, but his life follows a principle of Christianity. In Nigeria, everybody is modeled up, both the president and the people he's presiding over. They are all useless. There are no standards.
There are no standards.
So it is the work that Christianity should have done in the three of us and everybody in Nigeria that should regulate how we behave in everything. And because that regulation is not there, everything is upside down. You're blaming Oyedepo or Adeboye, Pastor Adeboye, Papa Adeboye, or Bishop Oyedepo.
No.
They too are functioning in a dysfunctional system. If it,
Let me
okay,
rephrase. I'm not blaming them that they are the cause, but I am saying that they are not playing. They are, in fact, they are contributing a lot to it as well. Because you call for that fasting. Yes, when you call for that fasting, you are directing people's minds to feel that they need to
something
spew
supernatural.
prayers
Yes.
to get out. Yes. Whereas there is action to be taken. But because
Responsibility.
I'm listening to you as a person that I take guidance from, when this is what you direct my mind, you assure me, when you assure me that the prayers are going to do it, then you have played a big role in keeping me stuck in my prison.
Yes.
That's my belief, my own belief. Mm.
And you're right. And you're right. But the point I'm trying to make is that the man who is sitting over a congregation as big as a country is trying
Mm.
to look for a line of best fit. It has its demerits and it has its own merits. At the end of the day, they end up being the people that everybody listens to because they don't speak directly.
Okay. So
I'm not
so
sure you understood what I
now,
said. I am very sure you understand it.
please could you say it again? Or Shay, did you get it? Do you understand it?
No, no.
Please could you say it again so I can understand?
I'm saying that the irony of it is that the big men of God are looking for a line of best fit, a line that connects all the dots together. As a result of which they talk diplomatically or speak in parables. And
Okay.
at the end of the day, they are the people that are accepted. Instead of you and I, smaller people, who are saying that polygamy is wrong for a Christian.
Okay, but
Some of them will say it depends on what you're dealing with. Well, it's just a matter of it depends on where you're coming from. But
okay, so okay.
what I am communicating here, please, I want to be understood very well. What I'm communicating here is that somebody must take responsibility for behavior. And the
Yes.
behavior that somebody must take responsibility for must be a behavior that conforms to the literature that runs our life, which is the Bible.
Yeah, but all of us are not
Now,
Christians.
for those who are, let those who are run according to those
Yes.
paradigms.
Yes.
That's the point I'm making.
However, here's another thing. They are always told that they can't understand the things of the spirit. so already they don't have confidence in
No,
themselves. You
no.
know?
I said they are trying to be heard by everybody. They are trying to make statements that will appeal to everybody. And really, you cannot remain
All right.
remain with your audience. Let the conformity and the good behavior of your audience become the pillar, or I mean, become the pattern that society learns from. That's what I'm communicating.
Can we put it this way? I think there's also a place for diplomacy in life, especially when a person is in authority, in a place of authority. There's also a place for diplomacy because there's a way that one can tilt it so much that they will be blown off. They will no longer have that position to be able to influence anything,
So,
and everything will
so
be
they should be
lost.
neither. So
So
they should be neither here nor there, in order that they're not
no,
blown off. Okay.
no. They should be in a place where if you really have the mind for that positive
Yes.
influence, do it. But things also require wisdom, right? So you're protecting what you're protecting should not be so that you can keep your position. What you're protecting should be so that you can still be in a position to influence positively. When it's coming from the right mindset, I think the right balance will be found.
Can I say this again? I'm sorry if I'm insisting. No, we went through primary school. Your primary school teacher will notice that you, Uzo, that you're unable to sit still and learn. He observes that this is your particular tendency and sits on you against your will, against everything in your life. You even think he hates you. But by insisting continuously, he develops a character in you that was not there. Now, if he was trying to be accepted by every person, he will be living, making general statements. I don't know if you got what I'm saying. At the
Yes,
end of the day, he's a good guy, but he produces a set of no.
nothing.
Thank God it's coming from me.
Oh, where is she? Okay. Yeah, that was a good diversion that we took. Now let's go back to the marriage thing. So my one of the things that I think that is cogent to for us to point out is that going into uh going into marriage, a person is who they are, right? The person has their set of values. I have my set of values. It is like I cannot insist that somebody becomes what I prefer. Um, I can't insist. Even if what I prefer is the right thing, or I believe is the right thing, or is even if it's the norm, I can't insist that the person has to do that. With life, when I meet another human being, they are entitled to be who they are. If I don't like what they're doing, I will just tell them that what you're doing doesn't suit me. But if I remain there, then I have now chosen to remain in that thing. So that's the thing that when we talk about marriage and people go for marriage counseling, I think it's really odd to say to one party, your spouse likes this.
Mm.
This is what you must do, and expect that they will do it. We can say it, but if they are incapable of doing it, as you said, Nemo that quod non hadet. A person is not capable of doing what he's not capable of doing. No matter how much love I show him, the only time he's going to change to do that thing that I want him to do is when he is convinced in himself. It could be my love or whatever that will do it, but it can never be my forcing and crying, because all he will do is to pretend and present whatever to me, and then he will hide to do whatever he wants to do. So the reason I'm saying this is to encourage us to, when you meet somebody, accept that even you, what you are doing, the way that you believe that things should be, you are not allowing them to change your mind. So why are you thinking that you will be the one to change the person's mind? And and marriage doesn't always represent love. I think it's very important for us to know. Not everybody, yes. By your standards, Bishop, and by my standards, marriage is a union of two people who love each other. But let us remember, because we need to tell younger people that somebody is coming to marry you or that someone decides to marry you does not mean that the person loves you. You have to see if the person loves you. Because I've been in a group where guys were talking and the woman had gone away with everything that the man provided and left. And I said, this woman did not love the man. You did everything for her. You kept on buying this, doing everything. She didn't love you. And they said, but why did she marry him? And I'm like, how can you say that? The fact that someone marries someone, is that proof? The only proof of love is what you can see from what they are doing. And in fact, they may even believe that they love you because this is the way that they know how to love. So if that love doesn't suit you, it is up to you to know that this is not love for me, because other people can show their love in different ways.
Uh,
So we need to,
this
yeah, people can show because they believe. No, some of us believe that we know what love is, but this person believes that what I'm doing, because some people even believe that keeping my wife subdued in this way, you know, this is the way that I'm protecting our love. Meanwhile, the woman feels subdued. So we need to know, are we speaking the same language? If we're not speaking the same language, then it is your expectations that won't be met.
okay.
And then I say, if you really love someone, this is what I would have said to Annie, or people in that position. If you really love someone, let the person go. Let the person go, and when it is right, because here is one thing that we don't do. Nature and life actually provide us the again blueprints, like a manual. It's like when you buy a fridge. Your fridge has a manual, your television has a manual. Every human being has a manual by which they operate. If you don't operate that person by the manual that suits them, they won't function well. So therefore, the fact that you come across me and you like me doesn't mean that we will function well, because maybe my manual requires somebody of certain things and you don't possess it. All the love you are showing me in the world is not going to change it, because you don't have what my manual requires for me to function well. So I will never be satisfied in that place, you know? So that's the thing. Even the two of you that I'm speaking to, I know that you must have had women in your lives that really wanted you to be their own. but you knew that this will not work for me. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Did you hear me?
I heard you. I heard you, but
Yes.
I never had any woman who wanted me to marry her. I I am the one. I am the one who had somebody I wanted to marry who felt otherwise.
Okay.
So, and
Okay.
again, all
Yeah.
my life
Yeah.
I've been a church person. So I never really dabbled into marriage. I know how serious it is. So if you tell somebody I want to marry you, it's a commitment for life.
No, even if they don't want to marry you, even if they just want, even if people, I'm asking about women who expressed interest in you, who you yourself you were not interested in.
That,
Did you not have such
no, not
people?
once. Personally. Oh.
No. Okay. Adesha, did you not have such people? Okay, even if you
I
didn't,
do.
it happens every day.
Huh?
It
I
happens
do.
He
every
said he
day,
does.
and everybody cannot be okay
Shea
for
said he
you.
doesn't know.
I do.
You
I
know, he
do.
said he
Oh,
does.
okay.
He said he
I thought he
does.
said he
I
doesn't know.
Yeah, yeah. So
No,
the
no,
truth
no.
is that
In the campus, yeah, countless times, yeah.
taking it personal is just, I'll be hurting myself if I approach a man now and that is the man that I want and he doesn't want me. Taking it personal, oh yes, it will hurt. It will hurt, right? Because this is where your mind is. But you have to come to a point where you understand that
You
this
see,
person has their own manual and what works for them.
can I don't know. Can I be myself?
Yes.
My intention is good. I pray you'll understand me. Eh? I must say what I believe as a teacher of the word of God. Look, this thing we call love, eh? The Bible simply tells us that love is kind. Love is not proud. Love is not seeking its own. Love believes in the other person. Love is not a feeling. Love is the character and the nature of God. Now, if love is what marriage requires, anybody that gives you this character of God can be a husband or a wife.
But it can't, because if I don't want to be patient with you,
Then you're not walking in love.
the fact that you want,
Then you're not walking in love.
I can't love
Hold on.
everybody as somebody I
No,
can
just
marry.
hold on. Listen, that's why I was begging you to allow me say it out. Yeah. You see,
Yeah.
what it means is that for you and I to have developed to a place where I will say to you, Uzo, I want to marry you. Eh?
Yeah.
There are things I have worked with. I have studied your patience. I have studied your humility. I have studied your pride or arrogance. I have studied your selfishness. You know, every human being is selfish.
I understand what you're
So,
saying.
having studied those things and having seen that those things are a part of this package I'm looking at, I can then say to this
Yes.
package, I think it can work between us. Because me,
But that is
because me
selfishness.
too, I have the same tendencies which you need.
No, you can't determine for the
No, no,
next
no. No,
person.
no. Hold on. I'm presenting my a man proposes, isn't it? I am coming to you to tell
Yes.
you that I have studied you and I have seen these things. You too, you have studied me. Eh? If you have seen these things in me as well, then on the basis of that, we can have an agreement, which is what marriage
Yes.
is.
Yes. It is what it
Now,
is. But
you see, what you're
yeah.
communicating, is not what is in your
Yeah.
mind because I know what you're trying to say. What you're saying is that the responsibility of the people should be to be sure that they have studied these things and they have found that it is in these people that they want to give their lives to. That's what you're
Yes.
saying. But it's not
Yes.
coming out that way.
Yes. Okay, thank you for saying it for me. Thank you for saying it for
Yes.
me. Actually, but they know too. They know because they have seen that it is not there, but they feel that they are going to make it
Ex-
come because they are going to show more
That
patience.
then is the lesson we are communicating by this conversation. That don't
Yeah.
pretend that it is not there when you know it's there. Do you understand? Instead of
Yes.
jumping into a relationship in the false impression that you will discover it after some time, eh? Don't do so because you are going to fall into a lot of pain. Even if it works, you'll be going through a lot of pain. I think
Hmm.
that's what we're trying to teach our audience.
That's exactly what we're trying to
Exactly.
say. Yes. I also wanted to say that nature doesn't make nature. See, nature life has made things simple for us, right?
Yes.
Some cases, when you meet somebody like that and you see that they're not ready, you can leave them.
Yes.
Do you know that if you leave them, allow them to be,
They can they
later
can grow
on,
into it.
yes, no, later on they will decide by themselves, and the time that they decide by themselves. Sometimes with life, it is because that thing is not ripe yet. The person hasn't had certain experiences either with you or with life or with other things, and after they've had those experiences, they will now be ready to take on someone like you.
Yes.
They're not yet qualified for you and this thing that you're presenting. You're giving them a gift that they're not yet ready to accept,
Those are
right?
these are the roles of people who are mothers like you, who can call your daughter inside and say to her, my dear, this thing you're running into, calm down. My people say no kwarogia or that.
Yes, yes, yes. So, and that leads us to Tiwa Savage and her husband now. I just heard that they're getting back together. Where is Shaya has been bounced out. So if they're getting back together, and the basis of their getting back together, I heard that she bought a bike for their son, and that for a long time he couldn't ride this bike. But then when the father came around, shortly after, maybe that bike had been there for maybe a year or two,
Mhm.
and the boy hadn't been able to ride it.
Mhm.
But that when the father came around, within a week or two, he was able to ride that bike. And I think that now showed, if that is really the reason that they're reconciling, then that showed both of they have had enough time now to see that they want each other. Now, when they're coming into the relationship, they're coming at it with a different energy. I want this thing. This person, I want this thing. Because Tiwa herself has had other relationships, you know, and she has had a taste of life without him and without that marriage. So for her to now decide after those experiences, I want this marriage back. The thing is now ripe for the relationship to have a chance. There's no guarantee that it will still work because maybe there are still things that they need to go into and learn and iron out. But right now, it's a better relationship and a better foundation because both people are coming into it as something that I already thought I didn't want. I want it. So if you allow something to just take its natural course, time is a very, very crucial factor in our relationships. Relationships is something that we should never force.
Yes.
We should never force. Bishop, what do you have to say? So that's why I'm always for people when the problem is there, even if it's a marriage for me, and I know that you're likely to disagree with this. For me, even if it's a marriage, if this person is not being cooperative, don't stress. Don't stress. Leave it and let the person be and do what they want to. Just leave it, right? If you can take it and be present there, that's all. But to be forcing and forcing and forcing, all you're going to do is create sickness for yourself. And even the person who you think is stressing you, that person will be stressed by your stress. And in fact, will hate you more because you are bringing more stress into that person's life, bothering him and trying to make him or her do or be who they are not, you know? So both people are now stressed. I say allow things to just be and allow life to happen. And then with time we will see. And people are afraid that if they leave that relationship, the other person will find someone. If they find someone else, then you were not meant to be that person. And even if they find someone else, they will still leave that person and come back to you if it's meant to be. Because everybody will see, water will find its level. What I will always find, that is what I will always find, is it is us and our anxiety, and not, and in fact I think it's very ungodly. It's also ungodly to be trying to recreate somebody and make them to be who they are not, and not allowing God to just work in that person's life, trying to force. That's another place where I will blame church, because church tries to force people to accept, but I think that would be another day. And instead of having living it the godly way, allow it to, God is there. Why are you trying to play God? So Bishop, I've talked a lot, so
Anyway,
please say.
anyway, I only have a little concern which I will add to all you have said. I agree completely that we shouldn't force God's hand, even in our relationships. We should allow things to run naturally and grow and mature naturally. I think that's what you're trying to communicate. That's what you're trying to communicate. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, allow things, whatever is going to be, will be. And
Yeah.
it becomes what it is. Yeah. Now, but the only thing I want to
Hmm.
add is that a genuine effort is not out of place.
Oh yes. Oh, always
Uh-huh.
now.
A genuine
Always.
effort.
Oh,
There's
always.
there's nothing wrong. There's an example I wanted to give, a personal example. I told you that what happened to me, and but the thing is, even as I look at it with the eye of maturity and experience and even exposure financially and all that, I discovered that I had a blame. I didn't make effort to present my case properly. I left it in
Hmm.
the hand of God in my attempt to be spiritual. Really,
Hmm.
I look back and that is the truth. Yeah. So
Yes.
there's nothing wrong in a lady being natural. I mean, relax. I mean, yeah, life. I mean, let's live this life.
That's what we need in life, oh, being
Yeah.
natural. Being
Let it let
natural.
it let it glow naturally. A lot of women can't even calm down and be loved.
Yes. And how do you have this way of getting into my mind?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, because
Do you know?
as soon as they see you coming, all their fangs are up and they are suspicious and this and that. And at the end of the day, even if it was not meant to be, they end up looking stupid because you are not even going for that. But because their minds are corrupt, they are thinking of a lot of things. And then,
I don't think everybody's following what your point is with that one, with that last
well,
one.
you see, I'm saying that when we learn to relax, there's nothing wrong in showing somebody, oh, I think I like you. You understand? I like how you carry on. I like how you do this and that. That doesn't make you kana or superfluous or what other word, flirty. No, you can be natural. You can make your case. That's the only thing I'd like to add. If a relationship is about to fail, or you notice some aspects of relationship, you can point it out nicely. Nicely.
Nicely.
This is not
There's no
exactly
fight.
this is all I'm trying to communicate. You may not have understood me well, but this is, even if it's
Yes.
not coming out well, this is actually what my intentions are. And you leave it at that.
Yes.
Am I going to force you to smile?
One of the problems that we have is that we have an issue with really understanding
Yeah.
communication. Do you know that you can say something to somebody?
Yeah.
You can say something to somebody and they entirely misread it or misinterpret
Yes.
it, right? And again, in our relationships, we need to take ownership and responsibility for our own roles, because I can say something to you now
Yes.
and you misunderstand me. And because you misunderstood what I
Yes.
said,
Yes.
the action that you take, you think that you're taking the action according to what I said,
Mm-hmm.
right? and then I get upset with what you've done. Yeah, no, you can go ahead. You're calling
No, no, I'm
somebody.
fine. I have.
Okay. And then I can get upset with what you've done. I can mute you so you
No, go
can.
ahead.
Can I mute
Yeah.
you so you can talk?
Right. Sorry, they were
Okay.
asking me
So,
what I wanted to.
okay. Okay. So I can get upset with what you've done because and I wouldn't know that you were only doing it thinking that you were doing the right thing because you misunderstood what I tried to communicate.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And then, yes. But you see, when I get upset, I need to open my mouth and tell you this is the thing that is upsetting me. And then you will now have the opportunity to say, Uzo, but I thought you wanted me to do this
Exactly.
thing. And I will say, no, 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 no. Because the truth is that sometimes we actually misunderstand what has been communicated. And if we have the patience to go back again and revisit what has happened, you may find out that it was only because you misinterpreted something,
Exactly.
right? Let me make a note. This is another conversation that we need to have because a lot of quarrels, a lot of misunderstandings come up simply from just misunderstanding and misinterpreting.
Misunderstanding, misinterpreting, and not having.
Impatience.
There's impatience three, but the one I am actually looking for to communicate to you is this: goodwill.
Hmm.
Why can't you see that I'm not wicked? Why can't you take it for
Hmm.
granted that I'm not a bad person? You could call me
Hmm.
and say, come on, this thing you did at so and so time, was it necessary? And we can just have a conversation. And you can then understand the angle from where I'm coming. A lot of times in marriage situations, a man is even trying to protect his wife by the things he does, knowing who he is married to, and the woman completely misconstrues it to mean other things, and the thing just spirals out of
Hmm.
proportion. Meanwhile, the basic thing was an attempt to even give you what you are asking for. I-
That's why I quarrel with. That's why I quarrel with people who come online and say all those things that create suspicion
exactly,
about partners.
exactly.
When you notice me sometimes, I'll say, stop saying these things. You can't come out and be saying women are always, men are always, because
No,
what you do when you do that, you create an impression in the minds of people. So when they get into a relationship and someone does something that they don't understand, they quickly judge it as the person has come with those negative
these
things.
are anyway sharp. As people mature, generalizations will reduce. You know, generalizations. For
Yeah.
instance, I have uh, I have seen a marriage where a lady married an Igbo man, and she was so sure the Igbo man died, and she was so sure that Igbo people will make her give her dead husband a bath
Drink the
and drink
water.
the water and all this. Meanwhile, this is the foremost educated family who don't even, in fact, up until today, nobody has asked her one question. You understand?
Maybe it happened to someone that she knows.
Even if it did, will it happen to everybody?
Mm, exactly. Always boils down to the
In fact,
individual, right?
I was listening to the aircraft situation in Washington yesterday. They are trying to open up that place for other flights to be going and come. Why can't somebody say, well, there was an air crash there last week. I'm not going to go board any other aircraft there.
Hmm.
Why why can't somebody say, I will never board an aircraft to fly out of Washington or fly in?
Right.
Are you going to be going by boat?
Right.
Now, which brings me
Exactly.
to yet another point. Statistics, data. You say men behave like this. What statistics do you have? Women behave like this. What data is the basis of your assertion? You know, a lot of people are not educated. Even if you can give me statistics, what is your percentage error or error of or margin? as a result of which you're concluding. Yeah, I saw one lady. The lady came to America and was asking her husband for even toiletries. The man wouldn't let her walk. It's just one lady.
Mm-hmm.
If you have
Exactly.
isolated 100 marriages, and you can determine that 85 of them happen like that, then we can say that we have a statistics we can look at.
Yes, true.
So you can't just run off with one incident and begin to build a case
Yes.
from that incident.
Can we put it this
Okay.
way? Let's go back again to
Mm-hmm.
mindsets. What is it that you want?
That,
What does your soul desire?
yes.
Right? What does your soul desire? Be sure and clear on what your soul desires. And then what you have before you, is it that thing? Is it is it working? Is
Is
it
it looking like it will work?
uh
Is it
does it look like that thing that your soul
will work? Yes.
desires?
Or is there or not there?
Does it look like it?
Yes.
Yes. And let your yes be your yes
Yes.
and your no be your, because when you see that that thing does not look like it and yet you're going ahead, that is, one of you is saying yes, either your soul is saying yes and your mind is saying no, or you cannot have yes and no working at the same time, right?
Yes. But
So
but
let your yes be your
but also, can
yes.
I introduce another caveat,
What's
if you
that?
don't mind?
No, I don't mind.
Okay. Are you aware that not every woman is privileged with a certain confidence that comes with being beautiful, having a good shape, having a,
The way you are
having
talking,
education,
as if you heard.
having education,
Yeah.
having a good family background? There are people who get
Yeah.
into marriage to get out of the family they come from only.
Yes.
There are people who get into marriage not feeling beautiful. So any man who just shows interest, I make a cuckoo, they go, this one has come.
Let me quickly take this one
I
that I
don't know if
got,
another one
right?
can come. Now,
Exactly.
there are also people
Yes.
who think they are so beautiful and they are rejecting. At the end of the day, they don't get married. They don't have serious relationships.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and there are also people who are so beautiful that that is even their
That's what I'm
problem,
saying. That's
because
exactly.
no, it's their problem in the sense that they don't even get those proposals
People,
because I'm
people are not
telling you,
confident enough to come near them. Yes,
yes, that's another
of course,
one.
yes. Now,
And then maybe they end up marrying just anybody because it's like
the-
they're not getting it. So let me just marry this one.
so I am therefore proposing that as much as you should be asking yourself, is this what I'm looking for? Does this satisfy me? There are aspects of life that you're not in control of, and therefore the
Mm-hmm.
God factor becomes necessary. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I'm saying.
And you need to know it.
Yes, that's all I'm adding. That's the caveat I want to introduce.
Yes. 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 I agree with that. So that's again saying that you are not God.
Exactly.
You cannot play God.
Exactly. You don't know everything.
And even
You
even
don't know everything.
even when you think you know
Uh-huh.
everything, you will find out in future that you didn't know
Yes.
everything.
Just that that future is in the future. It's just that that future is in the future.
It's just that it's in the future. It's in the future. Yes. So what we need to do is in the moment, just
Just
do the best
and
that you
just be
can
open.
and
Yeah.
recognize that you are not the one in
Yeah.
control. Your creator is the one in
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
And then stop trying to control everything. I actually say that it's witchcraft. I say
But it
it's
is.
witchcraft. When you are trying to control everything and control other
But it
people,
is. But that is it.
that's
But that
definitely
what it is.
witchcraft.
You may not people may not accept it, but that's what it is.
Yeah, because all they think of is somebody who is mixing poison and
Nah,
flying on
nah.
the broom and all that. But your behavior can be witchcraft. It's
Witchcraft is more
direct
about
witchcraft,
control.
manipulation. Yes, control.
Control
Mm.
as well.
Thank you so much for the
My
conversation.
pleasure.
And yes. And so before we end, let me wish again, let me wish Two-Face and Annie and Tiwa Savage and husband, I'm going to wish them a happy future. If Tuface and Annie are breaking up, I say again that I am very happy because now they can have the opportunity to live the life that they were created to live and not a forcing and complex life where it's full of confusion. Then they can really find who they really are. And then they can even determine if they're coming back together, they'll now come back as a sensible couple. I'm not praying for them to come back together. I am just praying for them
To find
to be
themselves.
who they're supposed to be, and they will find themselves. They will find themselves. Yes. So that's it. Just as Tiwa and husband have now found what they know that they should be doing right now. So that's it. Thank you so much for the conversation. It's been very rich, and I've learned so much, as always. It is well with you. I thank you for your patience when I say those things about church, but I know that I have found you to be a different type of clergyman. Yes, we know that we yes. So far, I have found you to be a different type of clergyman, and my spirit tells me that it is a good, uh, it is good company that I have.
Amen.
Right. Thank you for being you. Thank you so much.
You-
Yeah, Bishop has a
You're
point.
welcome. You're
Yes,
welcome.
yes. Shaya got bounced out, but I thank Shaya for his contributions, and I'm sure I'll talk with him later.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you to everyone who stayed with us on this live. Thank you for your contributions, for your comments, and everything. And together, we hope that we are all sharing ideas and information that will change our lives change our lives positively for the better. Okay? And I wish all of us well. It is well with each and every one of us as we close now. Bye bye.
Bye. Amen.